What's up guys, it's Tommy here and welcome to a brand new Liverpool transfer news video, and in this video we will cover a lot of stories, but the main one is that Ian Doyle is saying that Liverpool are pushing to try and sign Moises Caicedo. Liverpool must seize that chance that Chelsea still haven't agreed a deal with Brighton for Moises Caicedo, and he could be available for around £80 million, and we could get 40 million for Fabinho. That transfer is about to go through. Fabinho is already having his medical with Al Ittihad, and the Jordan Henderson transfer fee is 12 million plus bonuses and add-ons, which was confirmed today, so that could be around 15 million pounds, maybe even rising to 20 million if Jordan Henderson hits all the bonuses. And it's a no-brainer transfer, according to Ian Doyle, who is a very reputable Liverpool-based journalist. He's writing for the Liverpool Echo, and he said that Liverpool must seize this chance of trying to sign Moises Caicedo for 80 million. It's a no-brainer transfer that will transform Liverpool's midfield. But Liverpool have been placed in a very difficult position after interest from Saudi Arabia in Henderson and Fabinho. They were just two bids, too good to turn down, and both Fabinho and Henderson were very keen to move to Saudi Arabia and accept the huge salaries on offer. And this is a big headache that Jurgen Klopp didn't expect when the season finished, last season finished, and when this transfer window opened. We thought that after signing McAllister and Szoboszlai that we are only going to sign one defensive midfielder and maybe sell a couple of fringe players. We loaned out a lot of players already, but we were ready to start the season with either Henderson or Fabinho still in the Liverpool squad. But to lose them both in one transfer window is a big headache for Jurgen Klopp, and in this video we can break down how this can be solved. But this is now a crucial period in Liverpool's transfer window. We absolutely have to get these replacements right, because without a very good defensive midfielder, Liverpool will again struggle defensively. So let me know in the comments below, who do you want Liverpool to sign, and leave a like on this video. Let's get this video to 500 likes with your app, and also if you aren't already, make sure to stay subscribed or subscribe if you are new here, so you never miss the latest updates around Liverpool FC. So last season Liverpool and Jurgen Klopp was scrambling around trying to fix the midfield, which has been run over so many times. Liverpool were so leaky in their defense and their defending in the midfield, and then the new formation, of course, which brought the best out of Trent Alexander-Arnold, fixed some of Liverpool's issues, and Liverpool went with, I think, 8 wins and 2 draws in the last 10 games. And of course then the Saudi Pro League came calling after signing McAllister and Szoboszlai. Liverpool now have to be reactive in the transfer market. There is a little over 3 weeks left until the opening Premier League game, and another 3 weeks before deadline day. So Liverpool, of course, have time on their side, but the groundwork that has been done over the past 3 transfer windows means they won't be chasing defensive midfielders from a standing start. This summer alone, they were already pursuing a long-term replacement for Fabinho. The likes of Romeo Lavia and Ryan Gravenberch have been assessed, according to Ian Doyle. But Liverpool are behind other clubs seeking to bolster their squad with a defensive midfielder. Declan Rice went to Arsenal. Moises Caicedo is edging closer towards a move to Chelsea, and as Brighton continue to play hardball over the transfer fee. Brighton have earlier rejected a 70 million pound offer, so we pretty much know that Brighton would only accept an 80 million pound bid, maybe with some add-ons. But that deal is not completed yet, and with Liverpool, who know and admire Moises Caicedo a lot, there remains an opening. Liverpool have to throw themselves into that opening. They have to try and get Moises Caicedo, and no matter how small a chance Liverpool have to sign him, they could step into this and attempt to persuade Moises Caicedo to go to Liverpool instead of Chelsea. Of course, both clubs represent a big step up in terms of profile and ability to challenge for runners for Moises Caicedo himself. But Liverpool are in the Europa League, and Liverpool have a higher chance of winning trophies considering the past 5 years. Chelsea won some trophies, but they haven't won, I think, the Premier League in the past 5 years, and Liverpool showed that under Jurgen Klopp we can challenge for the biggest honors, and we have been to 3 Champions League finals. Yes, Chelsea have also won the Champions League recently, and of course it ultimately will depend on how much Liverpool value Moises Caicedo. I always said when Moises Caicedo's name was mentioned that maybe Liverpool don't value Moises Caicedo as a player who is worth 80 million pounds, but he would solve a lot of issues, and he's much better than Romelu Lavia. But if there is an argument to be made that maybe 80 million you could get 2 midfielders for that. You could get Ibrahima Sangare from PSV for 35 million, and then for another 45 million you could get Romelu Lavia, and 2 really good young defensive midfielders are better than maybe just signing Moises Caicedo. But Moises Caicedo definitely has a higher potential than Sangare, for example. Sangare is already 25 though, he's a lot more experienced, but Ian Doyle is saying that Caicedo would tick the boxes for both the short-term and the long-term needs of Liverpool when it comes to a defensive midfielder. Plus, he can also play at right back. In every respect, his signing would be a no-brainer. And Chelsea are, of course, first in the negotiations when Liverpool weren't seeking such a player before the interest in Fabinho and Henderson. But now, with Fabinho and Henderson sold, Liverpool could generate around 55 to 60 million pounds. So signing Moises Caicedo for 80 million wouldn't be out of the question, because Liverpool still have money sitting around. Liverpool just want this perception of the club that they have no money, so they can play hardball in negotiations. And maybe that's why they accepted a 12 million pound base fee for Jordan Henderson, because if other clubs see that Henderson is going for 25 million, Fabinho is going for 40 million, that instantly puts another 10 or 20 million on the asking price of any player. Of course, Liverpool would have wanted to solve this midfield issue with the signing of Aurelio Tchouameni, but he opted to go to Real Madrid, and game time hasn't been regular for the France international, and he of course hinted several times that he wanted to stay at Real Madrid. If Real Madrid seriously want to sign Kylian Mbappe, maybe they would consider selling Tchouameni, so that's not out of the question, even though it's a lot more unlikely. Moises Caicedo wants to leave Brighton, so I think if Liverpool could insert themselves into this negotiation, then that could be a serious possibility of Liverpool signing Caicedo. Liverpool cannot wait around to see what happens. Every day that passes, another one gone in a race against time to determine which one or two of the many names being monitored are the right ones for Liverpool, not just for this next season that is coming up, but beyond as well. Going big on Caicedo is bold, and he could leave Liverpool open to mild embarrassment if it backfires, but even if it fails, it would be a serious statement of intent. Until Brighton complete the sale of Caicedo, anything is possible. And with Liverpool's Premier League opener being at Stamford Bridge against Chelsea, it would add that little bit of extra spice to an already spicy fixture. Imagine if Liverpool stole Moises Caicedo under the noses of Chelsea. Wow, that would be absolutely amazing. I already blamed the owners, FSG, for Liverpool missing out on the Champions League, because it was okay missing out on Tchouameni because Real Madrid were more attractive to Tchouameni himself. But why didn't we sign a midfielder? And we missed out on the Champions League by a couple of points. So if we signed a midfielder like Sangare, for example, last summer, I'm pretty convinced that Liverpool would have got those additional 3, 4, 5 points to finish in the Champions League places. So FSG face a huge challenge. It's a moment of truth for the owners. They have to act decisively now, and they have to back the manager Jurgen Klopp, and they have to provide enough funds for Liverpool to be able to sign a proper, brilliant defensive midfielder. If Liverpool don't attempt to sign Moises Caicedo, then they are absolutely crazy. So I really, really hope that Ian Doyle is right and Liverpool will insert themselves into this talk. if you buy Caicedo for 80 million and you give him a 5 or a 6 year contract, you can still sell him in 3 or 4 years for pretty much the same price. But I'm convinced that Moises Caicedo will become world class. Of course, with a young player like him, it's always a risk signing one player for such a big money. But Liverpool need to get their moves on. If we don't want to sign Caicedo for 80 million because it's too much of a risk, then sign Sangare and Lavia for an 80 million combined. Then Liverpool have even more bodies in the defensive midfield spot. Also interesting that Fabrizio Romano pretty much reported that Guardiola to Man City is a done deal, but then today Leipzig's sporting director said something very interesting. He said Man City would like to have Guardiola, but currently we are still very far apart. The transfer of Szoboszlai to Liverpool has secured us financially. This is the Leipzig sporting director talking. So we don't need the money for Guardiola. We don't need to sell him. We would like Guardiola to stay. And of course, Man City know that Guardiola is already interested in joining them because they already agreed personal terms. But Man City are trying to sign Guardiola for less than 80 million, what Leipzig are asking for. And I'm fair play to Leipzig. Now that they sold Szoboszlai for like 60 million pounds, 70 million euros, they are swimming in money, and they are regularly in the Champions League as well, remember? And they also sold Nkunku. So with Nkunku and Szoboszlai both sold, they generated more than 100 million pounds already in the transfer market. So they don't necessarily need to sell too many of their stars. Jurgen Klopp also said something very interesting about the Germany national team job. He said, the Germany national team job is and would be a great honor, but there is no doubt about that. The problem standing in the way is my loyalty. I can't just leave Liverpool now and say I will take over Germany. It doesn't work like that. The inquiry isn't even there. If I'm to do it at some point, then I have to be available, and I'm not available at the moment. Thank goodness. Jurgen Klopp still has another 3 years left on his contract, and I have a hope that in those next 3 years, either Man City will be punished or Guardiola will leave Man City, and then Jurgen Klopp can have a free run at the Premier League title. And also Jurgen Klopp rebuilding this Liverpool team, bringing in all these young players, hopefully re-energizes him, and he reignites the fire inside the Jurgen Klopp to keep going, and hopefully he can give us a contract extension, another one. We have already seen Jurgen Klopp 7 or 8 years at Liverpool. Imagine if he stays for more than 10 years. That's a dream. If he stays for Liverpool beyond 2026 when his contract expires, because after Jurgen Klopp leaves, Liverpool will go on a sharp decline unless we can get an absolutely incredible manager. But even that, I think, would hurt Liverpool, because Jurgen Klopp is literally the perfect manager, the best manager for Liverpool, and also the best manager in the world. I'm pretty convinced that nobody else could have done what he did at Liverpool to win all 7 trophies at Liverpool, especially when he was up against absolute cheaters Man City with unlimited transfer budget and all the other powerhouses in European football as well. And even if Jurgen Klopp left today, he would leave as one of the most legendary, one of the best managers in Liverpool's history. He's on the same level as Bill Shankly, Bob Paisley, and Kenny Dalglish as one of the best managers to ever manage Liverpool. Also, many news articles are saying that Sadio Mane have accepted the terms which Al Nassr, Cristiano Ronaldo's club, have offered to him. So Mane wanted to stay at Bayern, but Bayern are pushing to sell Mane and to find a solution. So Sadio Mane are now seriously considering going to Saudi Arabia, and he will negotiate contract terms with Al Nassr. And that's heartbreaking, because Sadio Mane just 1 year ago left Liverpool for Bayern Munich, where he's earning a crazy amount of money, £370,000 per week. So I'm guessing the Saudi club Al Nassr is offering him even more money. And Sadio Mane is still a brilliant player. He was one of the best forwards, one of the best wingers. I mean, even like one year ago. So now he's going to semi-retirement at Saudi Arabia is absolutely mind-blowing to me, because the Saudi league is building like a super league, but Sadio Mane should still be playing in the Champions League. But I guess he can do so much good with the money that he will earn in Saudi Arabia within his community, that maybe the money is just too hard for him to turn down. And also, the more and more big players join these Saudi Arabian clubs, the more and more enticing it will be for others to join. Because Sadio Mane, before Ronaldo and all the other players who went to Saudi Arabia, he would have never even considered joining Al Nassr. But now, when he's thinking about it, he can play with Cristiano Ronaldo and all these other players at Al Nassr who went there already from Europe, and maybe they're planning to sign even more players. It's a lot more attractive proposition for Sadio Mane and other players to go to Saudi Arabia. And I mean, if even 2 or 3 years ago, if someone told me that Fabinho, Henderson, Firmino, Mane and Gerrard would all be in the Saudi Arabian league, I would have called him crazy. But that's how quickly football can turn, and the way that Saudi Arabia is trying to take over football, and they already took over golf and I think boxing, or it's absolutely, or UFC, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't really follow those sports. It's absolutely crazy. And the grass wasn't greener at Bayern Munich, even though Sadio Mane also has won everything at Liverpool, and congratulations to him. He's an absolute legend. Just like Jordan Henderson is, just like Fabinho is. All the players that left Liverpool are absolute legends in my eyes. Firmino as well. And the Liverpool fan is saying on the Reddit forums, I don't mind this move from Sadio Mane as much as some others, because he's gonna take the Saudi money and turn it into a university or a hospital or a water treatment plant back in his home in Senegal or something like that. Maybe Henderson will do the same as well, so we shouldn't be too quick to criticize or judge these players, because we don't know privately what they are going through in their family life, and also we don't know what they plan to do with all this money. If they just want to keep it for themselves, then of course we can criticize that, but if they want to do a lot of good with all this additional money that they will earn, then maybe it's a good thing. If they can turn this Saudi Arabian money into donations for great causes, then some good things can come out of all of this. So let me know what you think about all these stories. Very, very interesting how this transfer window is evolving and shaping up. And it's a good point that Sadio Mane, if he goes to Saudi Arabia and earns a crazy amount of money, he could actually genuinely set up generations of Senegalese people for future success by using the money and adding onto the infrastructure that he already built in Senegal: water, energy, internet, smartphone access, a hospital, school, petrol station. He has already funded for his people back in his home in Bambali. There is also the fact that Mane is a practicing devout Muslim, and getting a chance to play in the birthplace of Islam is a big deal for him and players like him. I would give him more of a pass than some other players heading over for such reasons. That's what this Liverpool fan is saying on the Reddit forums. So that's actually a good point, that it more aligns with the values of Sadio Mane a lot more, going to Saudi Arabia than maybe the values of what Jordan Henderson showed in previous years. So let me know what you think about all of this in the comments below, and thanks for watching. Have a nice day. See you later, guys. Goodbye.